The new drummer came to his first rehearsal. I heard he was off-tempo. I threw a chair at him. I'm Fletcher, a teacher at the top music conservatory in the US. My teaching methods are terrifying, almost insane, but students dream of joining my band because I always produce the best.
Look at me!
I told him to count to 4.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Were you rushing or were you dragging? I asked. It might look like humiliation, but it was deliberate, an act of extreme education. In my view, this wasn't violence. It was an awakening. I believe the best musicians must be forged in the harshest, most brutal environments. If you can't take a slap, you'll never survive on stage. I never care whether you're trying hard, only whether you can stay precise and calm under pressure. Deep down, I believe true genius is born in hell. The boy's name is Andrew. He's the genius I chose. A few days ago, I saw him practicing alone in the rehearsal room. He was decent, but not enough. I walked away. Later, I came to his class to pick musicians. Everyone played one by one, just a few notes, and I could tell whether someone was worth my time. Then it was his turn. His rhythm was tight. Clearly, he'd been practicing in private, but many people work hard. Only a few survive to the end.
Drums with me. Thank you, Joe. No, other drums.
The next day, he came to my band. Official rehearsal began at 9 a.m., but I told him to be there at 6. I wanted to give him a private session, but when the clock ticked past 6:01 and he still hadn't arrived, I walked out. If you can't meet basic expectations, you don't deserve to be a legend. At 9, everyone showed up. We just began when I stopped the session. Someone was out of tune.
Before I continue, would that player care to identify himself?
The air froze. I already knew who it was. I just wanted him to admit it.
Tell me it's not you, Elmer Fudd.
He looked down, couldn't meet my eyes. Finally, he whispered,
Yes.
but it was too late. I told him to get out. To me, this band is a battlefield. I don't want people who follow instructions. I want warriors who can take pressure and own it. Someone who can't face a mistake will never survive the big stage. In the next class, I told Andrew to follow the chart, but his timing was off, either rushing or dragging. I stopped him again and again. His hands began to shake. I saw panic in his eyes. So I decided to push him mentally.
Look at me! 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Because I knew, only under extreme pressure could he break through his weakness. I asked again, nearly mad, rushing or dragging? He cried, but to me, tears meant nothing. That's the core of my teaching. I believe real genius must be tempered at the edge of sanity. My reaction to tears was not guilt or sympathy. It was indifference, even disgust. To me, tears are the language of the weak. You only understand the rhythm of victory. After that day, he practiced like a man possessed. His hands bled, but he didn't stop. At that moment, I felt a spark of excitement. Without that kind of brutal training, he'd never truly break through. During a band competition, the core drummer lost his sheet music. He blamed Andrew.
The folder is your fucking responsibility, Tanner.
I had no choice but to put him on stage without the score.
I can't.
He hadn't memorized it. Fine. I waved my hand. He's up. That performance went beyond my expectations, but I showed no surprise, because I knew it wasn't time for praise. If I applauded, he might stop, but I wanted him to keep burning, keep proving. I don't seek excellence, I seek greatness. And greatness never grows from compliments. It's born in shame, in torment, in solitude. I officially made him the core drummer in class, and my standards grew harsher. Then I learned, 6 years ago, a student named Sean Casey had committed suicide. First came shock and grief. I didn't tell the students the truth. I said he died in a car crash, not because I wanted to lie, but because I couldn't face the possibility that he died because of me. He developed depression under my instruction. I feared admitting my near-cruel teaching style had crushed a young soul. I asked the students to mourn him in silence. It wasn't just for Casey, it was for me. A small attempt to ease the guilt, as if doing that would dull the sting in my chest. Soon, Andrew would officially debut as the core drummer, but no one expected the accident before the next show would end everything. That day, the bus had a flat tire. He nearly missed call time. Worse, he forgot his drumsticks. To me, no sticks meant no stage. He begged for a chance. I said coldly, 10 minutes. Miss it. You don't play.
That's my part. I'll be on your stage.
When he came back, I was stunned. He was bruised and bleeding, stumbling to his seat. I began the set as usual. I knew only a madman can reach the limit. Later, I learned he'd been in a car crash. He sat down and started drumming, but his body and mind gave out. He made a mistake. I stopped the performance immediately. Later, I kicked Andrew out of the band, not just because he was late or made mistakes or was unprofessional, but because I could not tolerate weakness. I could not tolerate chaos. True greatness isn't about blood and injury. It's turning madness into precision, turning pain into perfect tempo. Later, I was anonymously reported. I learned it was Casey's family. They contacted other students. They discovered that over time, I insulted, humiliated, and used fear and degradation to refine them. The school decided to fire me. Among those who reported me was Andrew. I resented him for destroying my dream. After being fired, I formed my own band. One night, I was performing in a bar. After a song, I saw a familiar figure, Andrew. His eyes flickered like he wanted to run, but I called out to him. I saw through him. He came back. He couldn't let go. We sat down like old friends. I told him I was fired. Someone had reported me. He pretended not to know. I didn't expose it. I wanted revenge. Before he left, I told him I had a band playing a major event. The set list included a piece he knew well. I invited him to join. He didn't say yes then, but I knew. The fire in him still burned. On the day of the performance, he showed up backstage. But I'd lied. The piece we'd perform, he had never practiced. I told the band the hall was full of industry elites. This show could decide a musician's fate.
You think I'm fucking stupid?
Before the show, I told Andrew.
I know it was you.
I wanted to break his last mental defense. Then I stepped on stage and announced, "First piece, Upswinging." He didn't know the song. I saw his shame, his frustration, maybe even despair. But maybe even I didn't realize. On the surface, I was a cold observer, watching him fail. But inside, I was burning. I was waiting for a miracle, the greatness we all chase. I was testing him and testing whether my method still worked. Could pushing someone to the edge still create greatness? The song ended. Andrew seemed ready to leave. I stared at his back. Time froze. After all the musicians got ready, I waited long on stage. He came back. But this time, his eyes held no doubt or fear, only unwavering resolve. Before we could react, he lit up the stage. He wasn't just playing, he was leading. Each strike of his drum was a blow against fate. I could hear it. This wasn't just improved technique. It was a change in soul. He no longer sought my approval. No more glances at me. He took over the stage with his entire being. I nodded, raised my hand to cue the band. The piece ended, but he didn't stop. He kept playing, pouring all his pain and humiliation into every beat.
Andrew, what are you doing, man? I'll cue you.
I walked to him and asked. He only said. I looked at him. For the first time, true respect rose in my heart. I saw the boy I once tried to destroy, now standing on stage, playing a rhythm that no longer needed me. In that moment, I felt proud of him. Not because he defeated me, but because he finally became himself. In that moment, he was no longer a student, and I was no longer a teacher. We were believers of the same faith. At the end of music, we made peace.